The intro's gonna be short because I have a lot to say in this video, but welcome to my honest descriptions on every anime of the year. This video was actually highly requested, way higher than I expected on Twitter, so I tried to give it my all, and I'm covering 83.5 titles over this video. I apologize if the editing is a bit hasty. I've never undertaken such a big project before. I mean, I do it for every season, but this is a whole different ballgame. I will not be including sequels, only original anime. So if you want sequels, like the video, share it with your friends, let me know in the comments. Feel free to subscribe. I try to reply especially to the early comments, so feel free to hit that notification bell too. We'll also be ranking the anime on screen, so this can double as recommendations and roasts. And among each season of honest descriptions, I will give one serious description. Without further ado, let's get started. An anime that at the beginning of its run really didn't get any hype, but when the memes broke loose and everyone realized that this was a competition, who can fuck in the perfect minor bestiality setting ever, then of course this became a popular anime. How could it not? And as an inspiration of mine always says, do not lewd the dragon lolly. If you have low self-esteem, this is the anime for you, because it teaches you, if you're a little chubby, you'll never get chicks. If you look like a god, you're gonna get a crazy harem. He uses this ability to torment and take revenge of an old childhood friend by having sex with her, even though he hates her. Shame he doesn't realize he's a fucking idiot, cause the tsundere always freaking wins at the end of the anime. Luckily, this anime only aired at the beginning of 2017, when there were only like 24 different types of sexualities. This anime abused every single one of them to make them fall in love with a character who was in love with someone else. Luckily, it wasn't airing at the end of 2017, where there are now about 187 different sexualities, because that would have made an entirely different anime. Also, fuck the teacher, a character who was evil because she was evil. The first anime ever that features a character that tries to convince God to become an atheist. This character is also a lolly Nazi. Congrats, anime continuity. This anime also serves as a brilliant social experiment. What would happen if your average businessman dude becomes a lolly that could fly? Reminds me of the good old days when the Japanese were allied with the Germans in World War II. And my grandfather was in a concentration camp, would not be happy that I made that joke. Another example of why my hatred towards Studio Trigger is around. Despite no one else freaking saying anything, they had a 30-minute OVA that was really good, and they turned it into crap hole, slice of life, dumb Harry Potter. Fuck Studio Trigger. Seriously.
That's only because you don't understand the beauty of its aesthetical pleasures.
Well, it's either that or they haven't released a single half-decent anime since Kill la Kill. On another note, Susie's Best Girl, Fuck You, Fight Me. An anime that was well-equipped to discussing social issues of real people that metaphorically take place in a universe with monster girls that stand out in high school. This anime instead decides, let's make every girl, despite being a kid or a coworker half your age, get their panties through the wash while they talk to their horny teacher. What? No, Nux. The teacher didn't have any bad mindsets at all. What did he do already? He hugged them a little, he held their hands a bit, patted their head, visited their houses, talked to them in private. Okay, never mind, move on. So this is that one anime of the season that I will be talking about seriously. Guys, go watch Gabriel Dropout. It is my personal favorite comedy anime of the year and favorite comedy since Konosuba altogether, which also puts it as my favorite since like Devil's a Part-Timer or something. This was really funny, guys. Seriously, check it out. It's pretty amazing. The obvious reaction to a tsundere girl beating the crap out of you because she thought you might have been taking a picture of her panties with your cell phone is drop everything else in your life and chase the fucking tsundere, even though the greatest girl ever loves you and stuff. This anime can be retitled Worst Girl the Anime, along with most other harem anime. So a bunch of guys got in a room together and were like, how can we make the worst romance anime of all time? Ooh, I know, let's make the main character fall in love with a girl for 4 episodes and then just, that girl never existed. Then for the next 4 episodes, he can fall in love with the next girl and then that girl never existed. And then for the next 4 episodes, he can fall in love with the third girl and don't worry. I'm sure season 2, that girl will never exist. Yes, this thing's possibly getting a season 2. Oh my god. And for the guidebook of typos in anime titles, we have Akiba's Trip, where obviously the S was supposed to go in the second word, Akiba Strip, because it's about a bunch of people stripping each other in Akiba. Whoa, guys, we just came up with an amazing idea for an anime. Let's have a bunch of people stripping each other in Akiba. Mind-blowing, cash through the roof. No, but seriously, this was the mentality going into making this anime. 2017, guys. Fuck my life, man. 2017. When a lot of bureaucrats got together one day, they realized, holy crap, there's this rebellion thing happening, mostly centering around this one dude. What are we gonna do? All of a sudden, millions of different perspectives are taking place. How to stop or cause said rebellion. Needless to say, it sort of resolves itself. Not with any strategies of deflecting it, not with any strategies of causing it, it just sort of dissipates. Where the hell was this go, guys? This anime was like underclimactic climax, the anime. That's what I would call it. Despite all that, though, this is an incredibly powerful message to real life. When a bunch of bureaucrats or politicians get together, all with the same mind of accomplishing something, they usually accomplish nothing. Sad but true. A bunch of lollies want to become fortune tellers. Spoilers, they don't. Instead, they're really moe together while showing far too much cleavage for 12-year-olds. When I started making this video, I didn't realize how many times I was almost brought to tears. Oh my god, guys. 2017 was a hell of a year. Studio Go Hands rubbed their hands together and made handshakers. Their goal was, let's make the worst anime ever. Their accomplishment was the worst anime ever. And the award for the greatest first 6 minutes of an anime series goes to Chain Chronicle. The first 6 minutes were amazing. I highly recommend everyone to watch those first 6 minutes. But then just stop and just imagine your own continuation for the story. Because quite frankly, just imagine your own. It was horrible. It was like really horrible. As we all know, there were 3 aspects to samurai lifestyle. First, there was epic sword fighting and battles. Second, great political movements fighting corrupt empires and whatever. And third, the boring times where they just sort of drank tea and went to shit and stuff. This anime was on part 3 of Samurai. This was about the shit times of samurai life. Yeah, I'm barely exaggerating here. I did not watch this anime because it looks like shit. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't look like shit. Dreamy girls, but not nearly enough banging. When the creator of Horimoto realized they were actual blood siblings, so they can't actually put it in each other unless it's a hentai. This time, they're not blood siblings. That's all the backstory you need going into this anime. Just know that the writers messed up fuck. Oh, but not only him. This was the most popular original anime of spring 2017. Pat yourself on the back, guys. You did a doozy. Despite all that, this anime was actually pretty good. And if you're a new subscriber and don't realize how much of a sarcastic bastard I am yet, let this be a lesson to you. I abridged this and it was actually pretty funny, so feel free to check it out after you're done here. It was back in my worst editing days, so I apologize for the editing, but the script is prima, fantastico. And that's the limit of my Italian. I actually made a sarcastic trailer on this where I call out Jeff and his bullshit, so feel free to check that out after you're done with this. I can't put anything into words here better than I did there. Boruto. But Nux, Boruto isn't a new anime, it's the sequel to Naruto. Naruto? What's that? That's Boruto's dad. Did Boruto's dad get a series or something? How much do you like it, guys? That's the comment section of all of my Boruto videos. How do you like it? Anyway, if you want to know what I think about it, feel free to check out my Boruto videos or my Boruto Abridged, which is far better than the original, even though that's not saying much, I know, but yeah. Well, everyone loves Death Note. It's one of those classic anime that everyone's seen, and if you haven't, you definitely should. And I'm sure all of those people were like, oh, I wish there was another anime just like Death Note, except instead, it was about a notebook that forces you to kiss someone else or you die. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought that. And the creators to this masterpiece was like, hell yeah, we're gonna do that. Remember how Miso was like this crazy yandere? We're gonna get a crazier yandere. Remember how Ryuk was this interesting death god? Well, this death god's gonna also want dick. Yeah, that was the thought process into making the anime, and that was the result. I watch a crap ton of shit anime, and this is the one I missed, god damn it. And here's the one anime of the season that I'm gonna be talking about seriously. Suka Suka is definitely a must-watch. Probably my favorite light novel anime of the year, and despite seeming like a more generic-ish romance, harem, whatever, believe it or not, this had some really heart-tugging moments, and despite no one really talking about it, I definitely think you should check it out. Mage Girl decides to travel with Beast Boy, who she claims is for guard duty, but she ends up saving his ass the entire show without him accomplishing pretty much anything. So that was bullshit. What other reason would you want a guy with a big, thick, hairy dick around? Well, this is anime, and I think you all know the answer to that question. Doesn't everyone hate the influx of, we have the overpowered main character and a bunch of weak-ass bitches that all surround him and flock to his penis? This time, the anime decides to flip the tables and give us a bunch of strong-ass female characters and an even stronger main character, so they can all flock around to his penis. Brilliant original story writing. Pure brilliance. When a hot android-like girl falls in front of our pubescent protagonist, where she's willing to do anything for him, and he could do anything to her, he decides to not go that route, and decides, let's make a crappy anime instead of an amazing hentai. There is some good finger-sucking, though, if you're into that, but if you are, I definitely suggest some other shit. When a girl leaves a farm town to get a job in the big city, she finds a job in a different farm town. Just to show you how dedicated this character is to her cause. Pretty sad that an anime with a setup like this becomes one of the best anime of the year. Pretty sad indeed. Well, at least it's based off a good game. Now I'll ask you guys a rhetorical question. What happens when you base an anime off a good game? JoJo's Part 4 that aired last year was one of the top grossing anime. It even got a live action movie in Japan. David Productions decided, let's make a story about guys with superpowers, but no, not really awesome stands. Instead, we're gonna talk about the lamest superpowers people could ever get in history of mankind. And these people will? No, they will not fight crime or whatever. Our main character is gonna be the school psychologist. And not even a cool school psychologist. David Productions, fuck you. JoJo's Part 5, when? Guys, seriously, we're waiting here. Come on. Aw, that's just a sweet couple. Oh my god. I'm like tearing up at the cuteness of this couple we're looking at right here. Aww. And the live action actor that's playing the old dude is Johnny Wiseau. Directed by Johnny Wiseau. Main producer Johnny Wiseau. Rated R. The Borg comes. Jeff Thu orgasms. Giguk licks it up. And the anime turns out crap. I was right all along. Basically 2017 in a nutshell. Oh! When everyone asked, guys, when are we getting a second season of 7 Deadly Sins? Japan was like, oh, we'll give you 7 Deadly Sins. But not what you're used to. You're used to epic battles? No. We're gonna have fan service blobs dancing in front of your face for 12 episodes. Yeah, the anime's shit, we know it, but they're anime blobs and they're dancing. And guys, we're gonna get money, so we're making a season 2 of it. Yeah, it's getting a season 2. Oh my god, it's getting a season 2. We're still waiting on you, One Punch Man. No Game, No Life, Devil's a Part-Timer, Bleach, Magi, ReZero, every other anime ever that we want a season 2 of. God damn. Guess some people just don't understand art. How can we make an anime that's like Onizuka, except instead of being a badass, manly-ass, chick-loving teacher, let's get this little gay midget dude who's also pretty badass, but he's born 2017, guys. Of course gay's gonna win. Liking chicks these days is basically sexual harassment. This anime needs more momos in its title. After getting my panties in a bunch looking at how 7 Deadly Sins is getting a second season, I was like, well, I can't be any more disappointed, right? At least I have a whole theory how that was basically hentai, the PG version. So at least, sex sells. So I get it. I have a theory going on here, right? So I researched Ginno Guardian, an anime that was so low budget that made basically no money. That was pretty shit. It didn't even have enough cash to fill out 20-minute episodes. This is also getting a second season. This speaks volumes for the entire fucking year. This anime has one major flaw. If you're gonna have a main character that gets these weird doll-sized chicks that are fighting each other with robot lasers and they end up making friends and becoming really close to the main character, either make that main character a dude or make the girl a lesbian. I don't consider myself to have a sick mind, but I think I speak for everyone here that I either want these little things drowning in jizz or shoved up someone's vagina. If you're embarrassed to agree openly, I totally get you. Just leave an anonymous LOL in the comments, and we won't know if you're talking about the video or this fact. Wink, wink. You could have introduced a new fetish into the world. And what's anime without new fetishes? This time they duel in virtual reality, and the main character cheats just as much as every other Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist. For a while now, Japan wanted to make a documentary of average high school life in Japan. This is that. This is exactly exactly how interactions work in a normal Japanese high school. To know more, feel free to check out my sarcastic trailer on Kakegurui after you're done here. Okay, here's this serious one of the season. Quite frankly, I think Made in Abyss is the best anime of the year, and anyone who hasn't seen it is definitely missing out, and a second season is coming, and quite frankly, this is in my top 5 fantasy anime of all time, and it's also heartrending at the end. It's just brilliance. This anime is brilliance. Seriously, I urge you guys to check it out. I think anyone who's seen more than 10 anime would say that Gamers is a pretty generic anime. My buddy, colleague, and pretty good guy over there, Explanation Point, put this in his top 10 anime of all time. So, I will link his channel in the description. Feel free to go check out one of his videos, anyone, it doesn't really matter, and just say, wow, you like Gamers? You're such a noob. By the way, regards from Nux Taku. That would be really appreciated, and I quite eagerly look forward to his response. If you have an anime where you have a bunch of different archetypes, and then you randomly mix and match couples between the archetypes, you pretty much get Tsurezure children over here. Now, while it's great and all, there's only one couple that I really like, and that's quite frankly between Class President Serious Dude and Tsundere Bum Girl Bitch. Yes, those are their actual names. It's not because I forgot them and was too lazy to check or anything. That couple is pretty much the greatest couple in anime, and I highly recommend you check out this anime just for that couple alone. And when I say that, I mean go to YouTube right now, I assume you're probably there, and look up best scenes of Tsurezure children. It'll all be this couple. They're amazing. Hey, Classroom of the Elite, I haven't seen this anime. How generic of a light novel rom-com can you be? Oh. Every year, there's at least that one anime that you have to take really important life lessons from. This is that. If you ever want a girlfriend, just kneel in front of her, look up at her panties while talking, and beg her to please, out of mercy, let you put your dick where it naturally wants to go. Chances are she'll probably say yes. And when she does, she'll probably somehow bring a harem of girls with her, including your little sister, which your best friend likes because he likes little girls in general. In fact, he GPS tracks every lolly in the entire city.
Hey Nux, how do you know that? That was in like episode 6. You actually watched it till there?
Yes. No, yeah, I was just researching it for this video, okay? If you really like this anime, you're a Fate fanboy, and that's really all there is to it. Because the brilliant idea of throwing 28 characters at you in episode 1 and you're supposed to understand all of them is a pretty fantastical idea. It just doesn't freaking work. I always thought bananas can only be used for metaphorical, deep humor. I didn't think that the dumbest anime of the year could be that hilarious and not being that sexual. But when I said dumbest anime of the year, I kinda meant it too. So the government in this anime had a pretty stupid idea that at like 16, they decide who you're gonna be spending the rest of your life with. Sucks to be gay. Also, if they get a text when they're 16 and they get a text at the same time as their soulmate, I don't think they realize that not everyone in the world was born at the same time. But whatever, moving on. Trust me guys when I say I was legit worried we weren't gonna get any really stupid overpowered protagonists this year that got harems for literally no reason. Well, thankfully, we got Isekai's smartphone. A guy who dies and God's like, hey, shame you died. I'll give you a smartphone in another world where you have every fucking power under the sun, which basically leaves there no excuse why you don't have a harem of bitches. This is one of those anime that can only really be classified as mucus. Giraffes go dancing, and it's unfortunately not as popular as Yuri on Ice, but that's probably because they're not gay. There's no reason why this had to be a isekai anime where the guy was trapped in another world. You know, quite frankly, the main character could have just been born in that world as that person, but no, it's an isekai anime, so he can slap that tag on it. Well, that's great. Aside from that, they're like, wait a second, what other cute labels can we put on this bastard to maybe get it an extra view or two? Oh, let's make the main character a trap. Combining those two trends together can only reach insurmountable heights. When an anime tries to cram as many niche genres into one title as possible, they kinda end up with this thing. Shame it just doesn't compare to the tops of the food, isekai, cafe, interracial, comedy genres that actually exist. Also, I don't know if it's too much to ask for, but I like it when the main female protagonist has either a great personality, or at least for a mediocre anime, is a really good-looking character. Quite frankly, no. Lolly Assassins. You'd think it would sound original, but this is anime. Bet it didn't even make you bat an eye. I have two powerful opinions. Opinion 1, Ufotable will not adapt anything good unless they have a writer like Gen Urobuchi on their side, no matter how good their animation is. And number 2, games do not get good anime adaptations. This proves both of them, bitches. Yeah, it's the daily life of a centaur in a school. Sounds cool? Not really. Well, we can make her a lesbian too. Sounds cool yet? Not really. Well, this has actually all the makings of a great anime. A headstrong protagonist, motives on all sides, reasons why you'd like him or hate him, political stuff, strategy, 25 episodes. But yeah, makings of a great anime is pretty much where it stopped. Dude cross-dresses as a girl and rapes another girl. Luckily, he does it enough times until she starts liking the dude. Pretty sure that's not how it works in real life, but good for their relatable, beautiful, heartfelt romance. 4 badass overpowered dudes walk around and kill demons. If that's not enticing enough, one of their names is Son Goku. Yeah, that's the whole anime. No, it's not deep, but usually these things get hype, and I don't know anyone that actually watched this aside from moi. It's so obscure, in fact, I couldn't even find a clear picture. So this anime was only brought to my attention because MathWiz97's the only guy in the community that watched it, and he claims it's the best anime of the year. Of course, I have to try it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's like Magi crossed with Calvin and Hobbes. That sounds interesting to you. You can check it out, but that was really an honest description. If you like contrived otaku bait, you're gonna feel bad for them characters and their wonderful romance that borders on incest, bestiality, and necrophilia, aside from a freaky age gap and a master-servant relationship that she's totally down for, even though she knows he likes her for, abilities and stuff, but quite frankly, no one else was nice to her. Even though the romance or plot doesn't really go anywhere, this anime is for you, because it's also beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. That's all everybody talks about for a reason, folks. Oh, I guess foolish plebs like you don't understand, Nux. Aesthetic is narrative. I'll take a plot that moves, though, thank you. My Naruto Fairy Bleach Peace Academia, the remake. Old dude inexplicably becomes badass cyborg Deadpool and decides to become an SJW. Coincidences, the anime. Yes, she was playing 2 separate video games, and coincidentally, she fell in love with different characters that were different genders in both of those video games, and literally bumped into someone, yes, bumped into someone in real life. All 3 of those people were the same person, of course. Also, she's 30, and so is he. Quite frankly, they shouldn't freak out and butterfly their tummies around when they hold hands. This isn't middle school, kids. And of course, none of that's nearly as unlikely as a hot girl in her 30s being a NEET. Also, this anime had the special ability to give every other YouTuber a copyright strike, so thankfully I did not put my 2 cents in a video about this bastard. An epic fight to the death tournament that was totally not based off fate. Each of them have one individual power, totally not based off fate. Each of them falls into a certain class, totally not based off fate. The reward of victory is 1 wish, totally not based off fate. There can only be 1 winner, but secret alliances are made throughout, totally not based off fate. And just so any suspense could be killed, they die in order that they reveal in the ending theme song, and they also die in the backwards order of the Chinese zodiac. So this'll keep you on the edge of your seats. There's a high school. Join the life of a coffee shop, where 1 girl is for each fetish. Whether it's a little sister, a big sister, a tsundere, a sadist, or a fucking trap. But even more importantly, this anime is home to the greatest meme of the year that infiltrated everything, and it isn't even JoJo. So a death game happens where everyone gets messages from this random king dude, and if they don't carry out the messages, they die inexplicably. This face you're looking at right now is the reaction of every single character when they get their text. That's the entire anime. The title says it all. Nay, the title says too much. They saw Made in Abyss did well, so they took 2 moe blobs and they put them in a post-apocalyptic universe where they just drive. They don't know where they're driving, but they drive. And they're dumb together in their driving. This is also the anime man's favorite anime of the season, probably because no one talked about it, but even more likely because they dab in the opening. Magic vampire Nazis versus a protagonist that's afraid of sharp objects. Hit or miss has never been a better way to describe an anime than this bad boy. Some episodes are these great philosophical thingos, other ones are these really dumb, boring, bland philosophical thingos. But either way, bet you didn't realize how overpowered Kino is, cause you were too busy thinking about the philosophical thingos. Dude gets a girlfriend because she's hot, and since she has no social experience, she thinks her job is being as much of a slut as possible. Of course, the dude is a pussy-ass self-cock blocker, and he ends up getting into uninterrupted with his army of, little sisters and childhood friends, all of them, of course, having boobs the size of Jupiter. Meanwhile, the writer thinks he has an amazing sense of humor because every time you say a sexual word, it's probably freaking hilarious. They gave up an amazing fantasy world and beautiful aesthetic for punchlines. Yup, it was punchlines that drove this anime off the cliff. Whether it was, look at all these people living in harmony. Whoops, they're all dead. Whoops, the lollies are dead. Let's fight back, we won! Spoilers, by the way. Sexualized, genderless rocks. I don't know why they had to be genderless or sexualized, but they went with both. It's basically Steven Universe the anime. Girl who's bitchy when sober, but gets mega cute and submissive when drunk. They like getting her drunk. Moral of the story? Get bitches drunk. Moe cat ears these days basically translates to run the fuck away. Fortunately, heeded my own warning and have no insight to share on this bad boy. Or this bad boy. Let's make an anime about anime tropes. You know those things that everyone hates and can't stand seeing more and more of everywhere? Yeah, an anime about that. Anime Uproar keeps trying to convince me to watch Garo, but I've never seen a Garo I liked. I don't know, he's trying to convince me. Let me know in the comments if I should. I have a nagging suspicion he only likes this because the girl has big tits. And if a girl has big tits, Anime Uproar will watch it as long as it's not actually labeled as a ecchi harem anime. If it's labeled as an action drama and has a girl with tits, Anime Uproar's down. By the way, Anime Uproar, love you. You're awesome. So someone like Dead Man Wonderland and decided to make a worse version. Actual full-blown hentai, I don't know why it wasn't classified that way. Maybe snuck past somehow. Don't know. Not complaining, but don't know. But no, we're on YouTube. You can't show any skin below the collarbone here or you get fucking molested. Gayer isekai anime worse Twilight. And finally, a meme. Yes, this meme lives in the White House, just like nowadays how a different meme lives in the White House. Well, this was number 83 and a half, ladies and gents. And let's be honest, this year really solidified memes as being a political fighting force. Yes, this was the serious one of the fall. Also, award for worst anime of the year goes to Net Neutrality.
おちんちん大好きですけど。大好き？
Well guys, thank you so much for making it this far. This video took a while to make, as I'm sure you can imagine. I mean, about halfway through, I went into some sort of spasm, calling myself insane that I covered 83 anime in one video. But hey, it beats spinning a fidget spinner for 10 hours straight on camera, right guys? So I'd appreciate your likes, comments, and if you'd subscribble. Also, if you guys want me to do one of these on all the sequels, kind of a part 2 if you will, let me know in the comments. And if enough of you want it, it'll become a thing. My intention is that within the first 24 hours that this is public, I will be posting a poll on my Twitter for the next Honest Descriptions for me to work on. Link to my Twitter in the description. I really appreciate all your support and love every single one of you. Have yourself a most wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all next time. Time for a major nap.